In the early 1990s, Staten Island was geographically and culturally isolated from the glittering executive high-rises of the Manhattan music industry. For the young men growing up in its neglected neighborhoods, poverty was a daily reality. They were desperate to pull themselves out, but incredibly wary of the corporate executives waiting across the water to exploit their talent. Look at this diagram of a standard 1990s record contract. An artist might get a modest financial advance, but when you apply that to a 9-member collective, that single payout gets chopped into 9 microscopic pieces, all while the entire group is trapped under one label's strict promotional budget. For 9 guys trying to survive on Staten Island, signing a standard contract meant handing over ownership of their art for pennies on the dollar. It was a legally binding version of the poverty they were trying to escape. To beat this system, Robert Diggs, better known as the RZA, gathered his friends and made a radical proposition. If they gave him absolute dictatorial control over their creative and business decisions for exactly 5 years, he would conquer the music industry. Their first move was a total bypass of the corporate label system. They pooled whatever cash they had, financed their own studio time, and recorded a raw, gritty debut single called Protect Ya Mick. They pressed the tracks themselves and built a massive underground following through hand-to-hand combat, selling physical cassettes straight out of the trunks of their cars at local record stores and clubs. By manufacturing their own underground demand first, RZA ensured that when the major record labels finally came knocking, the Wu-Tang Clan held the leverage to dictate the terms of surrender. In 1993, RZA sat down with executives at Loud Records, a subsidiary of RCA, to negotiate the release of their masterpiece debut album, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. The contract he secured bypassed established industry conventions. This diagram shows their decentralized structure. The group signed to Loud Records, but a specific clause allowed every member the right to sign solo deals with competing labels. This overrode standard industry exclusivity, forcing the label to surrender its monopoly. This contract functioned as a legally binding Trojan horse, explicitly designed to infiltrate the infrastructure of the entire music industry. The plan went into immediate execution. The group's breakout stars took their solo rights and moved to rival corporations. Method Man signed to Def Jam, Ghostface Killah went to Sony, and Jeezy moved to Geffen. This diagram illustrates the resulting network effect. Competing record labels were suddenly spending millions of dollars in marketing, radio promotion, and touring for these solo albums. They were subsidizing a single collective brand. To maintain strict quality control, RZA produced all of these initial solo albums himself. Every rival's release carried the